are the main consideration.
Carry on, beloved. Sorry. Carry on.
Should I repeat that?
Yes, sis. Go ahead.
One in which the welfare and rights of the entire mass of people are the main consideration, rather than the privileges of a class or the will of a monarch, or it may designate the body of citizens living under such a government.
Okay. Okay, cool. Everyone go and read that up for themselves that there's 56 Commonwealth countries. So Commonwealth is used a lot. We can get deep into that, which you just said, but that's Black's Law's Dictionary. Everyone go and do your due diligence and read up, Google up smartphones. There's no excuse for ignorance today. None. None. Absolutely no excuse. My grannies have smartphones. When I say my grandmother, love her, God bless her, my grandmother, who's 91, has a smartphone. And she herself is smarter, way smarter than that phone. What I'm saying, my granny can do it. Everyone can do it. There's no excuse not to have knowledge today. Thank you very much, Sister Sheeling. Let's carry on reading. And we'll break that down towards the end of the session, the Commonwealth thing as well, because that's deep. Very good.
Some of the Windrush generation will never subsequently have applied for proof of their right to be in the UK. Some may have left the UK. The Windrush scheme applies to all Windrush generation cases. The Windrush scheme is not, however, limited to the Windrush generation. It also makes provision for...
You're cutting in and out, beloved. I don't know why.
For some... Okay, let me check my internet. I'm done.
All right, where are you now? Where are you reading now? Just lost you. Where are you reading from, beloved?
The last paragraph, the Windrush scheme. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good now.
All right. You're good, yeah?
The Windrush, the Windrush scheme is not... oh, no, I think I read that. No, the Windrush scheme is not, however, limited to the Windrush generation. It also makes provision...
Provisions for free immigration.
Of immigration status for some children of the Windrush generation, as well as all overseas nationals who arrived in the UK before the 31st of December 1988 and have settled status.
Settled status. So that's where there's a booklet which they talk about your status. You can get it online. I can post it up that you can get that. So now that chapter was dealing with background. Where you're from. Tilbury Docks, East London. You know what, it'll be good to go and visit that one day. I've been there. Man, you can feel the energy. The Tilbury Docks where the SS Windrush landed in 1948. June, if I get my history right. We should all know this. All of us should know this. Right. Okay. We just actually broke
this. There you go.
Look. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Let me just read this for me. I love your voice, sister. Your reading voice is beautiful. Let me just do the Commonwealth part, and then you can do the next part, my good sister, if you like. But I love your voice. It brings balance. It brings balance. Okay, Commonwealth citizen meaning, as Sister Sheelan and the beautiful women on this group just gave us. Commonwealth citizen meaning. This page tells you the meaning of the Commonwealth citizen for the purposes of Windrush scheme. They shouldn't be calling it Windrush scheme, in my opinion. Commonwealth citizen means citizen of the following, and they're changing up the language. And there's a reason why the language is changing, and we're going to get into that. Anguilla, Antigua and Bermuda, Australia, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belize, Bermuda, Botswana, British Antarctic Territory. All you flat earthers out there. Sorry to make that joke. All you flat earthers, make me laugh. British Indian Ocean Territory, Brunei, beautiful country being there. Canada, Cayman Islands, we read this. Cyprus, including the sovereign-based areas. Look at that word, including sovereign-based areas. Dominica, Falkland Islands, that's what we saw in South America, on the South American map. Fiji, Ghana, Gibraltar, Grenada, Guyana, South America. Hong Kong, India, Jamaica, Kenya, Kiribati, if I mispronounced that, Lesotho, never heard of that. Malawi, Malaysia, Maldives, Malta, Mauritius, Montserrat, Namibia, Nauru, New Zealand, Nigeria, Pakistan, Papua New Guinea. All right. Those are those Commonwealth. Oh,
it's more.
Victor, Henderson, UC, Orsino Islands, St. Helen, and it's okay, it goes on and on. Most of the countries are not from the Caribbean. Not, they're just not. Solomon Islands, Singapore, Sierra Leone, wow, Singapore, Samoa, as I said before, Seychelles, St. Kitts Nevis, Sri Lanka, South Georgia, and South Sandwich Islands. Wow, Tanzania, Bahamas, the Gambia. Wow, the Gambia. Okay, Tonga. Okay, Trinidad and Tobago, Turks Islands. This Zambia, Zimbabwe, Virgin Islands. This doesn't make no sense to me. This is I'm going to be honest, it's a scandal within itself. I would like to know how much money is going out, how much has been paid out, and how much has gone to the actual West Indian community or Caribbean community, if you will. And okay, all right. In addition, the following people are included: the citizens of the. Listen to this now. I didn't know this. I heard rumors and hearsay. Now I'm reading it on actual document. Citizens of the UK and colonies by virtue of connection to a country or territory on the above list. British subjects without citizenship under the law of January the 1st. Now listen, that means, and I've said this, I could be a Caucasian man, respectfully, and I can apply for Windrush scandal compensation based off what I've read. You can apply for it. If you are by bloodline and definition of what a Caribbean is, and you're not that, and you are a UK citizen, it says it, United Kingdom. There's a reason why subjects, citizens, these are the words that keep coming up, and we're going to understand this at another point for those of you that are not clued up on it. But you can be non-black and apply for this. That's the bottom line. See? And I want to, anyway, although British overseas territories are not members of the Commonwealth in their own right, with the exception of the sovereign-based areas of Akron, Tiri, and Ihakila, British citizens, people, you don't need to record if you're recording this. I'm already recording. It'll be on YouTube. I've got eyes everywhere. British citizens, territory citizens are included on a list of Commonwealth citizens in this guidance. Citizens of Rwanda, Cameroon, and Mozambique are not included. See, this is weird. Included in the list of Commonwealth citizens in the guidance, as these countries were never British colonies, but nonetheless joined the Commonwealth. Joined the Commonwealth by force. Okay. Operations of the Windrush scheme. Right. This is where it gets juicier, even more juicier now. How many pages? We've done 11 pages today. Yeah. And it's now after 12. We will finish by 1 because I don't want us to overload our brain today. Sister, my good sister, would you like to read? And if anyone else like to read, please put it in the chat. I hope we're good. Do you want a break? Does everyone want a break? Like a 5-10 minute break? Are we good?
We're good.
We're good, yeah? We're learning a lot, aren't we? They're using a lot of citizenship, Commonwealth, subject, British, UK. You know, we're learning about intention. Very important. Okay, so sister, would you like to read?
Yep.
16
Operation
people. Go ahead. Sorry.
Operation of the Windrush scheme. This section provides you with guidance on the scheme process. People who identify as falling into a Windrush group can contact the dedicated Windrush help team for free on 0800 678 1925, Monday to Saturday between 9 and 5, or Sunday between 10 and 4, or email Commonwealth Task Force at homeoffice.gov.uk. You should consider individual circumstances to understand whether, or on the balance of probabilities, they are provided for by the Windrush scheme, and advise them how to go about making their application. The applicant may also complete a Windrush scheme application without going.
Sister, you're dropping out. I can't hear you.
Those
Anyway.
who wish to be considered under the Windrush scheme.
Sister, you're dropping out. You dropped out again. Are you using Wi-Fi or your data? Hello? All right, I'm going to
Can
carry
you
on.
hear me? Can you hear
Sister.
me? Yeah, carry on. Maybe my Wi-Fi is a bit ropey.
Okay, go. You could use your data. It might be easier, but carry on, beloved. Let's see what happens.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, let's see what happens, sister. Carry on.
Okay, where am I?
The applicant,
No information.
go from
The
the
applicant
applicant.
may also complete a Windrush. Yeah, may also complete an application without going through the Windrush help team. Those who wish to be considered under the Windrush scheme should refer to the information about the Windrush scheme on gov.uk.
Right, the applicant makes it also.
No info.
I'm just going to read it again. In
Go on.
application without going through the Windrush team. Okay, so I just want to make. Go ahead, sis. Sorry.
No information provided to the Windrush help team will be passed on to immigration enforcement.
Hold on, stop right there. Stop right there. This is very important. No information provided. No. We're not going to
see. This is the thing.
No information provided.
Yeah, we have to be.
No information provided on the Windrush help team will be passed on to the immigration enforcement. Let me tell you something. That is, in my opinion, a backward threat. If you're reading this and you're worried about your status, this is something that needs to be considered. If you are eligible for compensation but have an anxiety or fear that you might be deported, because there's so many people living in fear in this country because of their hate towards immigrants, that I'm talking about elderly people who are afraid to even apply because they might deport me. I don't want to go back home, and I'm saying specifically to those in the Caribbean. See, because it keeps using the word Windrush, and Windrush is synonymous with the Caribbean. I don't care what anyone says. Windrush. So this specifically is inducing fear, intentionally or unintentionally, to those who are members of the Caribbean community, in my humble judgment.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We have seen.
I worked for the Home Office, so I know exactly what goes on.
Oh well, you're going to be a good help to us.
I know exactly what goes on, sir.
And this is criminal. So we need to. I'm going to make a proposal at the end of this recording, but carry on, sister.
Those making an application through one of the online
forms. Evidence is the title. Consideration.
Yeah, consideration of evidence.
May I point out real quick? Everything you put in your application, you're going to have to back it with evidence. Do not say anything that you can't prove your claim on. That's why a lot of people say stuff and they can't prove it. I don't give a damn if you believe in the flat earth, the square earth, the oblong earth, the triangle. I'm using that as an example because it's a passing joke. You got to prove what you say. You can't try and disprove something to make then your case stronger by disproving someone else's. No, prove your claims. So if you know you were deported, discriminated against racially, you have to prove it, and it can be proved. That's all I'm going to say on that. Carry on, sis. Go ahead, sister.
Okay. Those making an application through one of the online forms or who are contacting the Windrush help team to seek assistance to clarify their status under the Windrush scheme will, in some cases, be able to provide evidence of their arrival and time spent in the UK, but will not always have much evidence. Where people are unsure as to their status under the Windrush scheme, or where there are gaps in a person's evidence of life in the UK, the Windrush help team will assist individuals to get relevant information.
Right, that's under the Freedom of Information Act as well. You can request for information.
We
had a conversation about that yesterday, didn't we? Information. But yes, we're gonna carry on, sis.
You should recognize that people may not have documents that are over 30 years old and help people to build a picture of their life in the UK using documentation and evidence provided, or that you can process through other systems available to you, including through use of cross-departmental data sharing. You may consider all evidence provided by the person's date of arrival or birth in the UK and time spent in the UK acceptable evidence that may assist. Could include, for example, passports, travel documents, flight manifests or passenger listing, birth certificates, school and study reports, employment history, family history, evidence of addresses, property ownership or rental agreements, NI numbers.
So these are all forms of evidence: passports, employment history, school and study records, the birth certificates, which usually is not a valid form of ID, they say. What else? Yeah, evidence. Okay. Francis.
Marriage or civil partnership certificate, factual records, including court proceedings, medical or dental records, bills and letters.
The usual.
Yeah.
All right, so that's evidence. Evidence of your ID entity. Okay, what's going on here? Deciding Windrush scheme. Right. I hope we're good. Do we want to break, people? Are we good? Are we good? Because I know we're trying to move as quickly as we can, but this is being recorded, and I'll make sure it goes out to you. When you're doing your applications, you want to keep this all in consideration. Don't worry, it's all going in anyway. Sister, we love your voice. Carry on, sis.
Deciding Windrush scheme applications. You must consider every application under the Windrush scheme under existing law and policy.
Stop.
But if this document differs...
Stop. Under existing law and policy. I'm going to point out something real quick. There's the Slavery Act of 2015. There's a reason why I say Slavery Act, because in the Slavery Act, it talks about trafficking. Now, we just saw a map of the Commonwealth, the 56 countries. Would you all agree that it would take boats to bring people from all those different places to here, right? To do what? To work, to live under certain conditions. According to Supreme case law, that people were taken from, a man was taken from India to England, worked for a very small wage, and that was known as trafficking. There's a lot of talk of trafficking in the media. I don't need to mention any names, but there's a lot of talk of trafficking. Trafficking is against the law. So yes, we need to start thinking outside of the box. And you must consider every application under the Windrush scheme under the existing law. The existing law, remember, Windrush scheme started in what year? 2018, keep in your mind. The existing laws, such as the Immigration Act, such as the Slavery Act 2015, powerful stuff to use, and other acts and legislation we can use. Carry on, sis.
But if this document differs from existing policy, excuse me, you should consider the application in line with this document. There is no charge for an application under the Windrush scheme.
If this document differs from the existing policy, you should consider the application in line with this document. Okay. All right. In line with this document. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, beloved. Sorry, I just want to, I don't want to stop it no more. Sorry.
Okay. There is no charge for an application under the Windrush scheme. Applicants under the Windrush scheme are required to provide their biometrics, so photographs of face and fingerprint, unless they are exempt from that requirement.
And you can be exempt. Go ahead.
You must consider all evidence provided or available to you and refer to relevant guidance to make your decision. Relevant guidance is either contained within this document or in separate published guidance, in which case links are provided.
Okay.
Where evidence is provided that prove matters of fact, such as nationality, dates of entry to the UK, or circumstances of birth, you should determine the person's status based on facts.
Right. Look at that. Look at that. Based on facts.
It's got to be factual. Not
guesswork. Not I think, I feel.
No.
It's got to be facts. You got to look at it like court. You're in a courtroom, people. You're in the courtroom. You got to prove what you say. Not I think, I feel, guesswork, plebiscite, babble, the this, the that. No, you got to prove it wherever you're going with. So keep it simple. And I'm saying you can go for more than 10 grand. When you do it properly, you can go for more than 10K. Yeah? Sorry, where are we now, sis? Go ahead.
When you decide that a person is British by automatic entitlement, has right of a vote, ROA, has
Yes.
settled status or qualifies for British nationality,
Yeah.
you should issue them with the relevant documentation available to them as outlined in this guidance under the Windrush scheme groups. You must take a rounded view where evidence is not provided that proves matters of fact and decide the case on balance of probability, taking into account the picture of life in the UK, evidence in the round and criminality. However, no information provided in relation to an application under the Windrush scheme will be passed on to immigration enforcement.
That's the second time they've said that.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Biometric enrollment. People coming forward to regularize their stay or receive a document that confirms their status are required to enroll their biometrics.
People coming forward to regularize their stay or receive a document that confirms their status are required to enroll their biometrics. People coming forward to regularize their stay or receive. In other words, so that goes into the status. That's another document.
Yeah, the application. The
Yeah.
application, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
So where a person does not meet the requirements for a document or proof of immigration status under the Windrush scheme, where a person is considered under the Windrush scheme in accordance with the guidance but does not meet the requirements to be issued with a document or proof of immigration status, you must always contact an applicant in order to give them the opportunity to provide more information. This can be by telephone, email, or in writing. You must keep a record of your request for information and the response. Where the applicant does not provide information straight away, you should allow them 7 calendar days for a response. You will refer the case to a senior decision maker before you advise the person of the reason for this.
And I'm going to say this, whoever you correspond with, you make sure, we know this in book club, don't we, Power of Consent, you get their first and last name. Don't just get, I am decision maker, I am adjudicator.
Well, you need their name, number,
everything, everybody.
Email, everything.
Everything, everybody. And by the way, you don't talk, you can talk on the phone, but when you're dealing with, remember, I'm going to say this, in my humble judgment, in our judgment, because we discussed this, everything you're building is a part of your case file. So when you're having conversations, make sure it's through letters, because that's evidence, letters and emails. Because
shouldn't really be speaking them on the phone anyway.
There you go. If you should take this to a higher level, you have the evidence of correspondence, people. You're not going to these people begging them nothing. I want us to kill this mentality of being poor and revolutionary, or being conscious and having humanity. No, you need resources to live, and you're going there to tell. This is your natural right. It's your natural inalienable right to go and get compensation for injury, harm, loss, common law. Injury, harm, loss. For the injury, harm, and loss that has been done not only to you, but to your forefathers, to your ancestors, because crime, there is no statute bar the limitation to a crime. This is not a civil matter. This is a criminal matter. You're not going, oh, please, yes, man, we want that compensation. Yes, please, please. No, please. Yeah, there's the paperwork. I'll have my compensation. Thank you. Under common law jurisdiction. So don't go there begging and bowing your head. You go there with your chin up, with dignity, with civility, stating your case and claim. Go ahead.
The exception to this is where the applicant clearly does not meet the eligibility criteria for the scheme. If this is the case and following agreement with a senior decision maker, there is no need to contact the applicant prior to refusing the application. You can signpost relevant application routes for those who are not provided for under the scheme. Yeah. Refusals. Where an applicant does not come within one of the Windrush scheme groups, you must issue them with an eligibility refusal letter, which explains the reason for this. When refusing an eligibility ground on eligibility grounds in the UK, you must always consider all the potential Windrush categories that could be relevant to the individual circumstances. For example, a Commonwealth national who arrived in the UK in 1975 must also be checked in to confirm they are not eligible as the child of a Commonwealth national or as a person who arrived in the UK before 31st of December 1988 who was lawfully settled.
About documents, remember, you can be lawful and still not have documents.
Mm.
Right, the language,
Yep. Where an applicant is eligible under the scheme and is being refused either all or part of what they applied for, you must explain the reasons in the appropriate letter. A partial refusal is when the applicant is being given something, but not the most beneficial product they applied for. For example, where we refuse citizenship, but confirm they have settled status, or note that they don't have a right of abode, but grant a returning resident visa. However, you need not consider products less beneficial than what they are being granted. For example, if they are not a British citizen, but have the right of abode, you need not consider whether to grant indefinite leave to remain ILR.
And how many people have been deported?
Yeah.
Forcefully, violently, aggressively, like the brother, I think it was last year, an elderly man who's all of these things are crimes. And I'm not going to say it on this recording because not everything is for public.
Yeah.
But I think our team know what we're talking about regarding where we want to take it. We don't need to talk everything.
Yeah.
We're going to conclude in a bit.
Okay.
Just open up the floor for question and answers and the discussion. But we're going to carry on reading. Sister, your voice is soothing. It's lovely. It's easy, like a Sunday morning. So please carry on, sister. We love your voice. Thank you. Is everybody still here? Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you're still here, or are you neck deep in your jollof and rice and peas and pounded yam and a goosey soup and curried goat? Are you still with us? Or are you catching up on the omnibus edition of some television program?
I'm still here.
All good? You're good? Okay. We're going to open up the floor shortly. We're keeping it brief. We're keeping it disciplined. We're keeping it, house rules, keeping in the house. We're going to open up the floor and we're going to mute and we're going to let people talk one at a time, not over each other. I don't like noise like that. And we're going to allow people to land their plane within the short space of time. We don't want a 10-minute, 15, 5-minute talking. Get to the point, to your question. Do that, please, within 60 seconds. Otherwise, I'll mute you so we can move on to the next one. Because we're not all there for talk. Yes? All right. So, good sister, carry on.
Okay. Reviews of the decision to refuse. Appeal rights. Where a person is refused under the Windrush scheme, the decision will not attract a right of appeal. Wow.
Hold on. Where a person is refused under the Windrush scheme, the decision will not attract a right of appeal. Well, there's something. You don't need to appeal. We don't need to appeal. Man, when we get into the question and answer sessions, we're going to yeah.
How a review can be requested. Applicants who come under the Windrush scheme can request a review of the decision to refuse all or part of their application. This includes applicants who were refused because they were not eligible under the scheme. Applicants must write or email the address provided on their refusal letter to ask for review. This is not an administrative review or a nationality citizenship refusal review. So the applicant does not need to complete either the admin review application or Form NR.
You know, right. See, this sounds like to me they are controlling the game and the rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I'm telling everyone here, think outside of the box. Sorry,
Yeah.
Karen.
If an applicant contacts the Windrush help team by telephone to request a review, they should be asked to confirm this by sending a letter or email to the relevant address and setting out their reasons along with any new information they want us to consider.
Wow.
There is no fee for review under the Windrush scheme.
Who is the us? Is it the Home Office?
Yeah.
And what kind of are they public oath bearers? That's what I'd like to ask. Are they public servants? Who are they to make decisions?
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it anyway. 15 pages. 15 pages we've done so far. Not bad. Not bad. This is light work, people. We can get through this. We're not going to do it all today, though. Second, applications and review. Okay. Let me think. Okay.
Maybe we can stop there and discuss.
I think probably we could do that because I think there's a lot that we can get through. We've done quarter. Well, yeah, 15 pages is good. For those of you who arrived late, too bad. Watch the recording. If I'm saying this, we've got to be on time now, people. Be on time. Take yourself and take your claim seriously. If you don't, that's your problem, not mine, not anyone else's. We are all sovereign. We are all independent. Take charge of your sovereignty by moving accordingly. Because when people move, there's no lagging going back. Your overstanding of something or lack of it thereof is down to you. Or go ahead and just read in your own time and do your thing. 2025 is a different energy, not ramping. All right, so how much reviews there? Okay. I think we can pause there and just review what we were reading. And now we're going to open up the floor. And I want you to put your hand up for any points and questions that you may have. Please don't go into a soliloquy. Don't go into a long monologue. Keep it as quick and as brief. Land your plane within that minute. 60 seconds is long enough, in fact, too long. So I'm opening up the floor. Raise your hand. Don't write nothing in the chat. Raise your hand in the chat so that you can come and unmute yourself to make your point, please. Yeah, we're going to talk on the recording, but I'm going to cut off and edit it up. But let's get to the point. Let's get to what we're getting to, because I'm not going to be on this all day. Yeah? We will continue with this reading next week. So anyone, any points? I guess those who are the ones with the points are those who are tuned in and listening. Any points that, sister, you said yourself, you work for the Home Office, right? Carol? Carol's
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right. So tell us what you think while other people come in making their points, if they got any. If they got no points, we'll wrap it up. If you don't feel comfortable with the recording while making your point, make that known. I can cease recording. In fact, I might even just cease.
Yeah, I think we should cease recording.
That will be the end of the book club recording for YouTube and other platforms. And we'll catch you up. That's the end of the recording. Myself to the people listening on the YouTube and social media space.